Okay, so this question here says, how long to the nearest inch is each rafter in the roof shown? So pretend this is a roof of a house here, and that's not a very good line. But anyways, these are the rafters. They're labeled right here, okay? Rafter and rafter. So you're looking for the length here. Now it looks like, if you notice the angles here, the angles are different. So this is not an isosceles triangle. That means that the sides, those rafters, are not the same length. So it's kind of it's a roof that, if I was to exaggerate it, it would be a roof that looks more like this, right? So one side is going to be a little different length than the other, and we know that because of the angles. So, all right, so what can we do? Any ideas of where to start? I'm given angle, side, angle, okay? So did we talk about this situation specifically? I don't know. Could we find this angle right here? I'm looking at this angle right here. Could we find this angle? Yeah, we don't even have to use the sine or the cosine law, really, do we? We don't, because, I suppose we could. No, we couldn't, because we don't have enough sides. So we have to do 180 minus 48 minus 44. And what does that give us? 80, 92. What is it? 88 is correct. Okay, so 88 degrees is this angle right here. And that's how you find the first part. Okay, so now we have a side, side, side. What can we do to find either one of these sides right here? Yeah? All right, so yeah, so what we're going to use here is the sine law. Why? Because I have an angle and side pair, and I can use that to find this missing side here. So I'm going to go, let's say I'm missing the rafter, so I'm going to go 42, because that's the length here, over sine 88. Now make sure you include the sine part, okay? It's not just 88 degrees, it's the sine of 88. And then we'll put the length here. Let's just make that R, rafter. I'm going to make that R1, the first rafter, over sine 44. Okay, so that's sine law. And I do some rearranging and multiply both sides by sine of 44. That brings that up there. And I'm left with this. I got sine 44 times 42 over sine 88 equals R1. Everybody okay with that? Does that look good? Now, this is the one thing you don't want to do, guys. You cannot do this. Say, oh, there's a sine there and a sine there. I'm just going to cancel those out, and this is what I'm left with right here. No, can't do that. And why can't you do that? Because the sine is not an entity of itself. It's not like it's a value of anything. It's a kind of an operation. It's the sine of 44. It refers to a specific ratio, right? So you can't separate them by dividing one of them off. They come as a package always, okay? So just remember that. I think most of you know that. So we get our calculator and we'll figure this out here, right? Make sure your calculator is on degrees. I ran into somebody the other day too that got all the wrong answers because calculator accidentally was not on degrees. So make sure you get that straight. So let's see, I get 29.193. Does that look good to you guys? 29.2 feet. Is that okay for the first one? And then of course you do the same thing for the second one now. You can use that. You can use the exact same ratio, and then you find rafter 2. So you guys can, if you haven't done that yet, please go ahead and do that right now to make sure that you can do that. Okay, so you solve for rafter 2. So it has been noted that the answer they're looking for to the nearest inch. So we'll go rafter 2 is 31. Oh, to the nearest inch, sorry, and this is in feet. Okay, so, you have to remember, okay, so what you have to do is you have to remember back to Foundations 10. What's 0.2 of a foot? Isn't that feet right there? That's that little tick mark says 42 feet. So yeah, so this is 31.2 feet. Okay, so how do you do that? You go 0.23. Let's use the whole decimal place, 1107-ish, times 12 because there's 12 inches in a foot. So that's 2.77 inches, so that would be 3 inches. 0.2 feet would be 3 inches. So it would be 31 feet 3 inches for the one side. And then the other side over here, I guess that's 0.2 as well. Now I didn't keep all the decimals there. I cleared that screen. But that looks like it's probably going to be, if it's 0.2, we'll use the same 0.2. So 29 feet 3 inches. Okay. So did everyone kind of see that? 0.23 of a foot is actually 2.77 inches. So to the nearest inch there. All right. Okay, good catch on that one there. So these are your actual answers here for rafter and rafter. Okay.